Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. Let's just philosophize this afternoon. I'm in the shop. Things are a little bit slow. It was busy earlier. Now it's slow. It's kind of nice. So let's just get down with rights. What are your rights? What are rights? People get their panties in a bunch about rights. People fight and scream and protest. They die for rights. What are they? Well, to have rights is, I guess by definition, you can split this word up in a lot of ways, and maybe that's what we'll have to do, but it really just means that you're inherently deserving of privilege. That's the technical definition of rights. Isn't that weird sounding though? Inherently deserving of. And of what? Of privileges. So that's such an interesting concept because rights are principles of entitlements. Privileges and entitlements. People demand rights. What are they really doing? They're demanding what they were inherently deserving of. The privileges and entitlements that they were born to get. And some of you are saying, yeah, well, but where did we come up with that crap? I mean, are we really owed anything? Are rights, if they're entitlements and privileges, are they just these expectations of brats who refuse to live in the real world? Refuse to accept survival and the fact that we're living on a planet that wants to kill us? Or they want to have some sort of leg up when they're born, this sort of foot in the door of making it a little easier? I have a right to live? Says who? There's no other creatures that have a right to live. But we think we do. And this stuff, it says, as far as definitions of rights, that it's inherently deserving, but we impose that definition upon people, meaning that when you're born, somebody else has to tell you. They have to school you on what you're entitled and privileged, and what your privileges are, what you're owed. Everybody comes in to this world already with a bank account or something, right? Like you're owed something. You already have some sort of investment that you get to spend. Are we owed anything? Do we have rights? Can you demand rights? I guess, who do you demand them from? The government, right? Power. People look at rights as freedom. In America, we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These are our rights of citizenship. But what is, if you're not a citizen, do you not have those rights? And what does that even mean? Rights of citizenship. The government gives you those rights, that the government gives you entitlements and privileges? Can the government give you something inherently, like as a birthright, and then take it away? If you have a right and you were born inherently deserving of it, could that be taken away? Your birthright? No, the government doesn't give you rights. The government gives you privileges. The government gives you privileges. Privileges can be taken away. I can give you TV every night and then take the TV away like a child and say, no TV. You were bad, no TV tonight. That's what the government does with you and your rights. They hold your privileges and your entitlements, apparently these birthrights, the stuff that you're supposed to be born with, right? They hold that over your head like a carrot on a stick, getting you to do tricks. Turn yourself into a slave for your rights. You have human rights. But the one that I think is interesting is the God-given rights. So I was listening to a talk by this guy, I wrote his name down, David Wilton. He's a Father David Wilton. He's out of Kentucky, and the YouTube channel is called Fathers of Mercy. It's a good channel. I'm not like heavy-duty Christian or anything like that, and I check them out, and I get a lot of value out of that stuff. God-given rights are interesting to me, because God didn't give us birthrights. God didn't give us an inherent birthright or these entitlements and privileges. We're not born with that. You're born with original sin. No, what you have, let me start this way. The Bible, to pick on Christianity a little, the Bible doesn't talk about rights. So you think you have God-given rights. A lot of people think they have God-given rights. The Bible, at least, maybe the Torah or the Quran, maybe they talk about rights. They're using that word rights. Maybe they talk about that in their book. But in the Bible, it doesn't talk about rights. We have this concept of God-given rights, but what it is responsibilities. The word rights is really a different way of saying responsibilities. Your birthright is your responsibility that you were born with. See, it's a slightly different way of looking at it. So you probably wonder or asking yourself, well, what are we responsible for? That would be my first question. If I'm not born with entitlements and privileges that I inherently deserved, instead I'm born with this task, these responsibilities. I already got a to-do list that was written for me the second I'm born. Well, what's on it? What am I supposed to do? What am I responsible for? That sounds like a burden already. Well, there's the burden of man. You've heard that term. As men, we are responsible for creation. Not only do we create, every single human that's ever been born was spit out of a man's dick, but we're tasked as gardeners and handymen, not just of your yard and your house, but of the whole planet. We have to take care of all of creation. Everything that God created, we take care of. And these are God-given rights, your responsibilities. The second one is, we're responsible for those in need, the desperate, the downtrodden, the poor, the hungry, the less fortunate. The people who are desperate. You know, we have a duty to take care of each other. We turn our backs, I do. I turn my back on bums every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And I was homeless once. It makes me a big hypocrite. I never begged for money though. But we are responsible for those in need. This is a God-given responsibility, a God-given right. This is what you were born with. And the last one is similar but slightly different, whereas we're responsible for the well-being of others. So that doesn't necessarily mean that we go around giving everybody coins out of our pockets. And you don't have to give the less fortunate money. I don't give bums money. I'd rather give them my time and sit and talk to them than give them $1. I don't give them money because I bought a bum some food one time. He was asking for money. Instead, I went into the place I was going into and came out with some food. Figured, well, that's what he was going to spend his money for, right? That's why he's begging out in front of a restaurant. Nah. He threw the shit away right in front of me, threw it away in the garbage can, walked off angry. He wanted the money for drugs, obviously. So you can help people in creative ways and in right ways. But being responsible for the well-being of others, that's the last one of God's given rights, is the well-being of all of humanity. We got to stop fighting with each other. We have to realize as men that each one of us, that every time we run up on another man, another human, That's God's creation. And we're tasked, our God-given right, our birthright. The first thing on our to-do list is to take care of God's creation. It's just different ways of thinking of stuff. This is one of the reasons why I like to explore spirituality. It has all kinds of different ways to think about life in general. Thanks for watching.